sports?
It's a live sporting event. NFL draft counts as a sporting event.
Okay, that's fine. Sure, it'll hold you over for now.
It'll hold me over for 3 days, and then I go back and do into nothing.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. I can't wait. Uh, how are you doing, Andrew? I believe people probably won't know this because you had a birthday recently. Is that true? Are the sources right?
I did. I had a birthday on Tuesday, April 21st, this past week.
How old are you now? Like 62?
23 to be exact.
Damn, I was a little bit off. Okay, well, happy birthday, Andrew.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Interesting?
What was it?
Did you do anything interesting in the quarantine while you're on your birthday? How is it having a quarantine birthday? I guess I should say.
Yeah, it was different than the last couple of years. It felt great to be home though. I've been home for my birthday in 4 years as I was at Oklahoma State. But it was really nice to be home and celebrate with the family, and just hung out and did a bunch of stuff with them.
Uh, Definitely sounds fun, Andrew. I'm glad that you did nothing. Way to follow the laws, Andrew. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So today on the show, we're going to be talking about some home run derbies. Last week we were talking about what we're going to do. We kind of waffled back and forth. We said we were going to do 3, and then we just said, fuck it, whatever. We're going to do 4. We're doing 4 home run derbies today, Andrew. 4. What years are we doing, Andrew?
We are doing the 1999 Home Run Derby, the 2005 Home Run Derby, the 2008 Home Run Derby, and then the 2018 Home Run Derby. So we tried to go with one from these previous decades, and then there's a couple good ones from the 2000 to 2009 era. So we decided to knock out two, and there's two from that time frame.
Yeah, I think these are all very notable home run derbies. They're all special in their own way. I mentioned this to you before the show over our lovely text message machines. Each of these years, oddly enough, have something to do with the Red Sox or Phillies, which is kind of awkward because in 1999, obviously the last time the All-Star game was at Fenway, and the home run derby was at Fenway. So that was fun. 2005, right after the first World Series for the Red Sox. 2008, right after the second World Series for the Red Sox, and the Phillies were World Series year, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. World Series champions in 2008.
Yes, and then we jumped over to 2018 when the Red Sox won the World Series that year as well. And to make things better, that there are Phillies sprinkled throughout these home run derbies too, which is fun.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out, man. We did not plan that, for the record. It was all by chance.
Sure. We didn't plan anything. Yeah, whatever. So let's get started. We do this in chronological order. We're going to try to keep this under an hour, but we're very long-winded. So we'll see how that goes. 1999, of course, is first. And you might have heard that opening call that we have going through. That was one of the biggest differences that I noticed as I watched these home run derbies. And Chris Berman should just he should just keep on doing these home run derbies until he's no longer with us. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Andrew? Why is he not calling home run derbies anymore? He's so good.
Didn't he retire?
He's still doing like NFL, whatever the hell.
Yeah, he retired and then he came back for the NFL stuff. I don't think he wants it anymore. I think he'd easily have it if he wanted it, but I don't think ESPN ever got rid of him or anything. I think it was his choice. So I think you need to reach out to Chris Berman.
I do. He needs to please get this started because he was so good. That was the best part about the home run derbies, these early ones, honestly. Love Chris Berman, love listening to him. But as I was watching it, the rules really, like, these used to be long home run derbies, like long affairs. And it was back then in 1999, it was the 10 outs. If an out is anything that's not a home run. And let me tell you, fireworks when it happened, but it was just kind of lagged along. What did you think, Andrew?
No, I agree. I think as much as we kind of rip on Rob Manfred for how he's kind of constructing the game with his rule changes, I think the home run derby is something he's doing right, and we'll get into the rule changes when we get down to the 2018 home run derby. But no, you're absolutely right. It turns into a drag after a while when you see guys. You get 10 outs, so when you're hitting home runs like these guys were in this year, and I mean you're just seeing guys swing pitch after pitch, and then you even get to take a pitch, and it doesn't count towards anything or against anything. So then you have guys taking breaks in the middle of this going on. So it's absolutely right. It drags on. But once it kind of gets firing up there in the last couple rounds, it gets extra exciting. And it's always cool to see how excited the other players are for who make it to the All Star Weekend, just not the home run derby, and how excited they are, and kind of pushing people along in that sense.
Yeah, but this was a fun home run derby to watch, purely because of the participants. Who let's introduce them. First is Ken Griffey Jr. Ever heard of him, Andrew?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Well, here's your fun fact. Yeah, most home run derby winner ever. He's won the most home run derbies ever, with 3. 8 appearances in the home run derby. AL MVP in '97. This was his last year on the Marlins and the Mariners. I get those confused all the time. The Mariners. And by the way, here's a fun fact about Ken Griffey Jr. He is still being paid by a Major League Baseball team. Do you have any guess of who that baseball team is?
I do not know that, but I'm gonna guess is it the Reds.
It is the Reds. He's being paid by the Reds until 2024.
Oh well,
So
never knew that.
Yes. So there's our first competitor. Jeremy Burnett's is next. The no name. I don't know if it's very mean to call him that, but kind of just the blender in there. Played for the Brewers. Here's another fun fact. Andrew, Oklahoma State alum.
Wow, that's very shocking that we both went there, and before the show, we both had no idea who he was.
Yep. Oklahoma State alum. 8 20 home run seasons, 6 30 home run seasons. So not bad. This is his only All-Star game, so this is his peak. But not bad. Mark McGwire. Ever heard of him coming off of the home run chase and hitting 70 home runs? Is that good, Andrew? Is that all right? 70 of those things?
Absolutely. He might have hit a couple in this home run derby too. You never know.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, 70 of those home runs came last year. Pretty crazy. Here's another fun fact. I don't know. I guess I just have fun facts for all these players that I've written down. I didn't know. The average home runs for his first 6 seasons, 36. And you want to guess what his average home runs were for his last 4 seasons?
Let's go around 52.
61. 61 home runs in his last 4 seasons. Good old Mark McGwire. Pretty good there too. Jeff Bagwell, Hall of Famer. Pretty remarkable that he's in it, because I never thought of him really as a big home run guy, but he was the lead leader in home runs for the Astros already by this time, which is really funny. Larry Walker, Hall of Famer, potential Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's actually in yet. On the Rockies at this point. Nomar Garcia Parra, the Red Sox rep, not a Hall of Famer, but beloved. BJ Sherhoff, never heard of him. Sean Green, never heard of him. I believe this says Sammy Sosa. Is that accurate, Andrew? Are my records correct?
I mean, that's what it says, but I don't know if that's the guy that showed up.
Well, I have that he's won 7 All Stars. He got 7 All Star appearances in 1998 home run or MVP. Is that correct? That's pretty good. And then John Jaha of the Oakland A's, the 1999 Comeback Player of the Year. So shout out to John Jaha, I guess.
It's another guy I did not hear of before this.
Yes. So those were our participants. Pretty interesting. They put these guys in there, so shout out to them. Like I said, this is at Fenway Park, so the dimensions of the field were a little wonky. Andrew, when you saw Fenway Park in 1999, what was the first thing that popped out at you? Because I'll tell you what it is for me after you.
The first thing that popped out to me?
Yes. Did you notice anything different?
Let me think. I guess there's no seating in left field on the monster, right?
There's no monster seats. That's the weirdest thing to look at
That
now. All of
eh.
those home runs should be going into the monster seats. Imagine how much money the Red Sox could have made by just selling monster seats there. And like, oh man. So yeah, no monster seats. That was crazy. I don't know if this is kind of a spoiler. The crowd, I wasn't really a big fan of the crowd.
I agree.
And we also had Stuart Scott on the sidelines roaming around too, which made this a lot more fun as well. So those are all my random notes throughout. Do you have any random notes about the home run derby in 1999, Andrew?
Not like on the side notes like that, no.
Okay, well let's talk about the first round. Larry Walker started off. Clint Hurdle was throwing to him, the former manager of the Pirates. Now I thought that was kind of funny.
Hey, nice guy.
Nice guy. He won an MVP in '97, but Larry Walker only mustered out 2 home runs. Not a fun watch, Larry Walker, but he's one of the best DHs of all time. So shout out to him for the 2, I guess.
Wasn't a very exciting start to the home run derby. Yeah. Only getting 2 home runs there. I expected a little more there from Walker.
Not what we wanted. So then Nomar comes up, the crowd all into it, blah blah blah. We get an off fuck after the 5th out, by the way, Andrew. Just wanted to make that note. He gets a nice ovation. Fun fact, he was second in MVP voting in '98. But he is only mustered up with 2 home runs. And it was pretty disappointing. And by the way, I did notice a lot of Derek Jeter shots while Nomar was up there. A lot of Derek Jeter shots. So I did not enjoy that part. That was not fun.
I was surprised. Like, he was a surprise player. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know who he is, and I know he's a great player, but whenever you hear his name, you don't think of him as a home run hitter. So I was very surprised to see him in this home run derby, especially with some of the other names.
Yes, I did the same thought, and I looked on the Red Sox. I looked on the Red Sox in '99 to see, wow, who could have replaced him. There was no one better, unfortunately. He was, I think he was first or second in home runs with 23 or 25, I believe, that year too. So it was pretty disappointing. Jamie Burnett comes up. He gets 6 home runs. Shout out to him. This will get him past to the second round. Some life into the home run derby, thankfully. But everyone at this point is kind of sleepwalking through it. But here's a fun fact about Jeremy Burnett's, Andrew. He replaced, in this All-Star game, Tony Gwynn.
Did he really? Wow.
Yeah. Don't know why. I'm assuming Big Tony got hurt at some point.
That's what I was going to say. I assume an injury.
But yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And another note, I noticed a lot of hand cameras in '99, and I got a good chuckle out of that. It's going to be a theme. It's going to be a theme going forward to a lot of hand cameras.
I noticed that as well.
I know. John Jaha comes up, 1 home run. No one cared. Jeff Bagwell comes up, kind of does some stuff. 5 home runs. It's fine. He got a co-MVP, by the way, in the lockout season. Don't know if you knew that, Andrew.
I did know that one, actually.
And also during Jeff Bagwell's round, ESPN was doing a greatest athletes countdown, and Jerry Rice, the 27th best athlete at the time. Thoughts?
That's insane.
27th.
You all would have thought it would have been a lot higher. Like, come on, it's Jerry Rice. I mean, obviously, I know he wasn't done playing yet, but best athlete, you would have thought it would have been a lot higher than 27.
Yeah, I was shocked. So he gets 5. That'll be good to advance to the next round. These low home run totals were shocking, by the way. I remember the home run derby being a lot more vibrant, a lot more action, but nothing to show for it so far. Until I'm gonna skip BJ Sherhoff because he was just thanks for coming kind of guy. Mark McGwire. Finally, Andrew, brings some life into the home run derby. Mark McGwire steps up and clubs 13 home runs in the first round. We let off the show with some Mark McGwire audio, but Andrew, why not? Let's listen to it again.
Back onto the Massachusetts Turnpike.
Yeah, Mark McGwire, a big, strong man, again, coming off of the 70 home run season, put up some numbers in this first round, Andrew. 13 home runs, like I said. What was your opinion on Mark McGwire's first round? What do you think?
Well, first off, when he first got up there, it was amazing how big he looked. He was just
gigantic.
He was gigantic. Like,
his forearms are just massive human being. This is peak steroids. We love it.
It wasn't even just his arms, like even his neck and everything was just like it was crazy how big he was.
And let me tell you, Andrew, he's not even gotten any smaller since. Not even an inch smaller. Still a massive human being to this day.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I have not seen a recent picture of him, but
do you remember when he was a hitting coach? I believe it was for the Dodgers, and they got into that brawl, and he was just throwing people around.
Yeah, he's a guy I want to back me up. He's a guy, when you meet him, you want him to quickly be on your side. That way, if something ever happens, he's got your back.
Yeah, I would not fuck with him. But continue with Mark McGwire thoughts.
But no, it was fun. Like you said, finally brought some light to this home run derby. And I know you mentioned the crowd already, but maybe that's one of the reasons why it was kind of quiet in that place for the most part, is because there's nothing really exciting in this home run derby up until this point. And I think he really got things going for this home run derby. And obviously, at that point, he was probably the biggest name he was the biggest name to bat to that point in terms of home run hitters and stuff. So, I mean, he finally got the crowd going. And I don't know if you noted this, but I wrote this down. But a lot of one of the differences I saw in this early home run derby, and especially with McGwire, they never really followed the ball and showed where it landed too often. Like, they showed his swing, and they'd kind of zoom back into the player and kind of get the player's like facial reaction rather than showing where it landed. For a lot of them.
I want to go ahead and chalk that up to just technology not being good enough to focus on the ball and find the ball.
That's probably it. But
I would guess that. Something I did like about this old broadcast, it happens in the clip that you could that we heard before. You could hear Mark McGwire just grunting for these home runs. You hear everything, absolutely everything, and that was my favorite part. That's why I can make Nomar Garcia Parra yells fuck in the fifth out of his round. Like, you can hear everything. It was awesome. And you like Mark McGwire, just the grunts of just a grown ass man hitting home runs that went over the monster onto Lansdowne Street behind Fenway Park. Insane, just insane.
It was incredible. I mean, none of his home runs were cheap home runs.
No, he earned every single one of them.
And I don't know if you looked up anything, but I saw a quote by Luis Gonzalez, and he's like, I remember in 1999 sitting there watching Mark McGwire hit 590 feet home runs, and when I participated in the year following in 2000, I was just hoping to get some cheap 330 home runs because I knew I couldn't compare to McGwire's.
Let me tell you, I started making notes. I started writing down averages and longs because a certain individual in 2008, the distance on those home runs in 2008, Andrew, ridiculous.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean,
we'll get there, Andrew. We'll get there. Let's save it.
Okay.
But average distance on Mark McGwire's home runs in this round, 438 feet. At this point, Mark McGwire was 17th all time in home runs with 485. Andrew, do you know where he finished?
Where he finished in terms of
home
the
runs.
List, or how many home runs?
Where he finished on the list?
I forget the list, but it's funny. I remember his home runs. I know he's at 5. He's at 583. I know that.
Yes, that is that. Wow, I didn't think you'd get that. I thought that was going to be the harder one to guess. But he finished 11th.
I was going to guess 8 or 9.
He finished 11th, 583. I believe. Oh my god, I forgot to look this up, but I think this is his last 3 years. I think this is in the middle of his last third or his third to last year from a playing standpoint.
Yeah, he stopped in 01, I believe, maybe 02.
Fair enough. I probably don't blame him. The steroids you take a hit there. But so he lights it up. 13 home runs. I believe that's a record at the time. That was a record for most home runs in a round.
Yes, I wrote that down.
Yeah, pretty tough to follow that. Shout out to Sean Green, 2 home runs. Uh, they showed a total home runs for the NL and AL. NL getting absolutely or AL is getting absolutely body bagged, and they would finish losing 27-7 in the first round, a home run wise. Then comes Sammy Sosa, the man. Everyone thinks that he's gonna put on a show like McGuire. Like I said earlier, the year before it was the home run derby, the home run chase. Sammy and Mark going for like 80 home runs, fucking 100 home runs during the season. Mark ends up with 70. I don't remember what Sammy ended up with exactly. I wrote it down, but it's not in front of me right now. But Sammy comes up and kind of disappoints with 1 home run. Andrew, I feel like you have some thoughts on Sammy Sosa.
Oh, it was extremely disappointing. It was like someone else showed up for him. I mean, when when not when going into this, looking at the names, it was like, okay, you expect to see who would kind of move on and get to the next round and stuff. And he just came up there, and I think you said it before we got on here when we were just talking, and it was like he really didn't care about anything in that home run derby. He was just there to enjoy the show, be there and laugh with everybody, and it was kind of clear by the amount of times they kind of panned to him throughout McGuire's at bats even, and it was just him just sitting there laughing and stuff. So I mean, obviously it's all for enjoyment for those guys. So I'm glad he enjoyed it. But from a fan's perspective, especially if you're there, imagine buying these tickets, going to Fenway, expecting to see the battle between McGuire and Sosa, and he shows up, and you see him hit 1 home run with 10 outs. Like that, I can't imagine how like disappointing that would be to see live.
I know, right? So yeah, Sammy hits the one. Some other notes. ESPN was showing a replay of the U.S. women's national team beating China for the World Cup. Shout out to ESPN. Just wanted to make that note. And I wrote as well that I can see why everyone loves Sammy Sosa. Very personality guy in a time where baseball players and such weren't really known for having those kind of personalities. So I appreciate Sammy Sosa. So last guy to hit is the champion from the previous year, Ken Griffey Jr., who isn't being mentioned, obviously, in the lights of McGuire and Sosa. But he hits his 3 home runs and goes into the next round, does what he has to do. His swing is so nice, and everyone knows that, obviously. I'm saying of just facts. But I just couldn't get over just watching him just like so effortlessly flick balls into the stands. And it's just crazy.
No, it's incredible. I mean, and it's really a shame he kind of got hurt and stuff. Like, it would have been great to see how he would have been able to finish that without all that stuff happening to him. Because I mean, it really took away a lot from him and the game itself. And but no, like you said, he made it look easy up there, and I mean, it showed why he was supposed to be one of, or he was one of the best, obviously, but even what he could have been even more.
Right, I know it's crazy, but we get into the next round. Bagwell, Jamie Burnett's, King Griffey Jr., and Mark McGuire all advance. A random note. This isn't, like I said, this is in '99, so this is pre any Red Sox World Series, and they were showing the most infamous home runs in Red Sox history, and I was like, wow, no David Ortiz home runs, no Manny Ramirez, no game-winning World Series anything. And it was Carlton Fisk's home run where he's just waving the ball to get fair, and I'm just like, damn, that's dark. They lost that World Series too. So I was like, that's tough. But next round, Jeff Bagwell hits 1 home run, disappointing. Burnett surprises with 6, which got everyone out of their seats. It was like, whoa, okay, Jeremy, I see you. And then King Griffey Jr. does the damn thing, impresses everyone with a 10 spot in the second round to basically lock his spot in on the final. Do you have any thoughts on King Griffey's second round?
Yeah, and not so much the second round, but something we forgot to mention is when we were talking about how good he was. But the funniest part about it is the whole backwards hat thing. I just love how he goes up there and he's got that famous backwards hat look on. And I mean, if anyone else has played backyard baseball, it goes into that game as well. So it's funny. I guess this is how he made his mark, and it's just such a cool thing to kind of go back on and see kind of what we missed because of how young we were.
Man, I need to find a way to get some backyard baseball in. I need Pablo Sanchez to get on my squad immediately. I need to make a note of that. So like I said, Burnett's hits 6, King Griffey hits 10. Uh, incredible. He hit it. He headed. He heated up at the 6th out. He followed the 6th out with home run, home run, home run, home run, home run out into the 7th. So a quick 5 home run streak right there, kind of separated from everyone. And I thought that was the most impressive stretch of the home run derby, to be honest. King Griffey effortlessly just shooting balls into the stands will never get old to me.
Absolutely.
I also I don't remember exactly what McGuire did, but I wrote down McGuire seems like a dick. So there's a note. There's my random notes I write down while I'm watching these things.
I know they interviewed him after his. I know they interviewed him after his three or after
Yeah,
his bad
I was about to say,
second round. So
I
it might have
think
been
he
something like
said
that.
something. He said something kind of off, and I was like, "Wow, Mark McGuire does not seem like a guy I want to hang out with." But we head to the final round after McGuire disappoints with only 3 home runs. Doesn't get to the final to get that one-on-one matchup against Griffey. We get Jeremy Burnett, the Oklahoma State alum, like I said, in the final of the home run derby. Not a big deal. Versus King Griffey Jr., one of the best players in baseball history. Burnett's only puts up 2, and then King Griffey Jr., which, by the way, Andrew, the weirdest thing is that they did here, instead of 10 outs, they go 5 outs for the last round for some reason. Burnett's only gets 2, and then King Griffey Jr. Does this to end it, basically.
11 times,
Yeah.
56 or more home runs have been hit in the majors. Griffey's done it twice, McGuire twice, Root twice. And Junior Griffey sends it back. Gone! The winner and still champion, Junior Griffey. And he does the right thing. He tells it, he said, "You helped me win it."
So, yeah, King Griffey Jr., home run derby champion, 1999. Andrew, you had something to say there?
Yeah, it's a shame that Griffey went second here because I would have liked. Unlike McGuire, who seemed tired in that second round after going a big round, Griffey seemed like he was only getting started. I really wish McKee would have went first, and you could have seen how many he could have hit in that round.
Yeah, that 3 home runs was nothing to him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That was the easiest thing he's ever done. So very impressive start. I enjoyed it. Andrew, I don't know if I could. Is this a spoiler? But where would you rank this home run derby of the ones we saw, 1 to 4?
Honestly, I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna go 4.
I agree with you. This was my least favorite. I don't know if it was the rules or just the low amount of home runs, but I was this one was more of a chore to watch than the other ones.
Yeah, it was. I think it's got a mix of things. I think number one, it was the low amount of home runs. I mean, what we've been used to, and from even the recent years where they kind of went to this new style, and you kind of see a ton of home runs each round, or even the years we're about to get into, and even some of the guys you don't expect to hit that many, they're hitting. I mean, no one really is hitting less than five or more home runs outside a few guys here and there. But in this home run derby, you had everyone in the first round outside of McGuire, Burnitz, and actually, there's only 2 in the first round to get over 5. Jeff Bagwell got 5, but so only had 3 guys get 5 or more in that first round. So, I mean, it just shows you right there the difference in the years.
Yeah, pretty tough. Pretty tough. Not I wasn't a fan of, or I was a fan of this one, but there are better things to come, especially in the next home run derby, 2005. I don't know if this is my favorite one, Andrew, but it's up there. 2005, they decided the twist or the little spin on the home run derby they wanted to do this year is they decided to do it by nationality, I guess. They had countries and they had participants for each country: Venezuela, Netherlands, Canada, the Dominican Republic, Panama, South Korea, Puerto Rico, and the United States. Made up the 8 countries for each age participants. I remember watching this home run derby as a wee young lad. I wrote down how old we are at some point, so I'll blurt that out at some point. But this is awesome. I really enjoyed this one. This is the one where Bobby Abreu puts himself on the map. He does his thing and hits a lot of home runs, Andrew. A whole heap of home runs. What do you remember about this home run in Derby, Andrew?
I remember. I remember this pretty good. I mean, because at the time, I mean, the Phillies haven't been in the playoffs in my lifetime, so this was like in 2005. This was like the moment for Phillies fans. I mean, because outside of that, you haven't been in the playoffs since '93, so there wasn't much to look forward to with that team at that point. And I remember it was very exciting, and I remember watching it at my house with everyone. I mean, I was only 8 at the time, so but it was just I remember it was very electric and exciting, and to see what he did, especially in that first round, which we're about to get into, was just so exciting.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I enjoyed it very much. Bobby ends up going first, and since you're the Phillies fan, Andrew, why don't you go take it away? Tell me about Bobby's first round.
Well, to get it started, I mean, first off, he first pitch he had in this home run derby hits for a home run, and that only got things started for him. They were still doing the 10 outs thing at this point, so yeah, he had I mean home run up until 10 outs, and he was just crushing ball after ball, and I mean there was all of his were like I said for McGuire's. I mean there was maybe one or a couple, but for the most part they were no doubt home runs. They weren't anything cheap. His longest one on the night was 517 feet. So that was no joke, obviously. And I mean, he broke the record for most home runs in a round still, and he still had, I think it was it 4 outs left?
Yeah, he had 15 home runs with 7 outs.
So he
Yeah.
got the 16th with 7 outs as well. So he had 3 left, and then he finished the round with 24 to extend the record at the time. So yeah, it's a tremendous first round, and I mean, unlike the start to the last one, the complete opposite. You could not have asked for a better start to home run derby. It gets the crowd into it right from the jump, and even though it's in Detroit, you got the fans in the background chanting Bobby. So just a really cool moment for everyone in general. And I mean, like you said, you get the different ethnicities with these players. So I think it just also kind of brought a whole different light in that sense to some of the fans as well to see some of these guys. And I think there's a cool thing too when Bray was up and when he finished. It's like all the players were into it and stuff. So it was fun to watch Bobby Bray.
I love it. Bobby Abreu, the Venezuelan representative. Here's a fun fact: I'm also from Venezuela, so Bobby Abreu is a god in my eyes. I love Bobby. I love Bobby so much so that I ruined his legacy by looking at his baseball reference, Andrew. I looked at it and I was expecting like 50 home run seasons, like 10 All-Stars, like a great player. His most home runs in a season was 31. He had 30 this season. This was his last year on the Phillies as well. And this is also probably the peak of his career. So not great, but I love Bobby. Easy swing, was flicking home runs. This is also, Andrew, the peak. I wish I could be in the outfield for this home run derby. Like, this was the one that I really wanted to be there for. Just so I could be like, guys, I'm from Venezuela too. Come take me. But yeah, this is awesome. And let's go ahead and hear some audio from Bobby Abreu's just ridiculous home run derby.
This is pretty good right out of the gates here. And this gets out of there too. He's only got 3 outs. 6 homers thus far. This one is straight. It just almost scraped the plate. Bobby Abreu with the rainbow again to right. Back it goes. Back. Gone. Boy, the show's put on.
I think he better make some outs and save his strength for these rounds.
Way back. Oh, man. Back. Oh! Gone!
Yeah. So inject every bit of that into my veins. I love Bobby Abreu, and he's a Hall of Famer in my book.
Hey, honestly, I was gonna say his whole career wasn't that bad. I forget the exact number. I'll have to look it up and tell you afterward. But no, he is. I mean, I know people don't think of him, but he is kind of a borderline, if not below Hall of Famer, because he's one of the few players. I forget the exact stats to have that many stolen bases, to hit 400 stolen bases with the amount of I think RBIs and home runs he had too. So he's one of the few guys in that sense. And again, I mean, he won a Gold Glove. He had a Silver Slugger. So I mean, 2 All-Star games. He wasn't a bad overall player. He's a very
No.
I think underrated, undervalued player for his career wise. Is he going to make the Hall of Fame? Probably not, but I think he would get some looks, get a few votes when it's all said and done.
He's in my Hall of Fame. Bobby Abreu, I love you. He broke his bat while hitting with 8 outs left. I thought that was going to mess him up at the time because I was a wee child. Definitely did not. A first round home run score of 24. Pretty good. Following that, it was pretty tough. But following that is Jason Bay, the Canadian representative. Thanks for coming, Jason. Could not put one in the stands.
No, what a disappointing follow-up. Yeah, you have a guy break the record for most home runs in a round with 24, and then the next guy, big 0. Like, just what a turn in events there.
Yeah, that's tough. That's super tough. I feel bad for Jason Bay, former Red Sox, but I don't feel bad at the same time. No home runs for him. Here's your fun fact about Jason Bay. He's your first Little League World Series participant to win Rookie of the Year.
There you go.
There you go. Next, Carlos Lee from Milwaukee out of Panama. Puts up a decent performance. Don't hate him for it. 11 home runs. The White Sox traded him apparently in 2005 for Scott Pasednik. Andrew, this 2005 trade would come up big because those White Sox would win the World Series without the help of Scott Pasednik. So that's pretty tough for him. I feel kind of bad, but
that's got to be tough on a player.
A little tough there, but 11 home runs will definitely get him advanced to the next round for sure.
Yeah, and he got 11 even with getting a slow start. I mean, it took him a couple outs to get going there, and then he finally I think I forget who it was. It might have been one of the guests they interviewed. It might have been Reggie Jackson, or it might have been I don't know. It might have been one of the announcers, but they kind of alluded to it and said the first one's like the worst one to get, because once you get the first one, you know how to kind of do it more, rather than like when you're still kind of like Jason Bay, when you're not able to get that first one, it's still in the back of your head like that. And also all depends on, like you mentioned, Abreu's smooth swing. Well, I forget who it was, but they said it on another guy in this home run derby. I can't remember which guy it was, but they kind of alluded to him having like an undercut. And when you're hitting a pop up, like home run, like more of a pop up than a line drive, like Abreu was, it kind of tires you out and wears you down a lot more.
Yeah, fatigue is definitely something we should have mentioned in '99. All of the players in '99 were just like, I guess they were all complaining. Like McGuire especially was like, "Yeah, when you sit around for 40 minutes, you get cold and stiff and Bobby Abreu was proactive and warming up and was hitting throughout this whole time. So shout out to Bobby. Fourth in this home run derby was Hee-Seop Choi, not a all-star. That will come up later in the show, but he's not an all-star, but he comes and represents South Korea. Shout out to Hee-Seop Choi. Don't have anything to say about him, but he got 5 home runs. So thanks for coming from the Dodgers. Any Hee-Seop Choi thoughts, Andrew?
No, another guy I didn't know about before watching this, but no, I mean about 5 home runs gets to the next round in 1999.
Yes, and it's 5 more than Jason Bay. Just remember that. 5 more.
Sosa.
Yeah, 4 more than Sammy Sosa. That's funny. Fifth in this, Ivan Rodriguez, the hometown guy, Pudge, Detroit's catcher at the time. If you don't know him, a 12-time All-Star. The Tigers went to the World Series in 2006, Andrew, with him, but they ended up losing it. He's an elite catcher, probably top 5 catcher all time. I actually did my research on top 5 catchers all time, and I'll talk about it later. But the 03 NLCS MVP and won a World Series in 03 with the Marlins. 7 home runs, gets him past. Not much to say about him. Good job, Pudge. Any thoughts, Andrew?
Honestly, he kind of surprised me there with the 7. I wasn't expecting him to kind of advance into that next round spot. I mean, I remember Bobby Bray, but outside of that, I didn't really remember everyone else from how they did in this one. So I thought the 7 was kind of a surprising first round for him for me.
Same. So I was a little shocked, but shout out to him. He's not in my head. He's not a home run hitter, but I guess it's because he's a catcher. The United States representative, 6 up, Mark Teixeira. This was Rangers Mark Teixeira as well, not even Braves Mark Teixeira. So he's super young. Mark Teixeira will come back up in 2018, but he disappoints and only gets 1 home run. This was very baby young Mark Teixeira. So thanks for coming, Mark. 7th, Andrew. Do you know who's 7th? Our king, Andrew.
Our king?
My
or
king.
Your king?
My king, Andrew.
David Ortiz.
David Ortiz comes up 7th, hits 17 home runs. 17 breaks records too, kind of. Coming off the 04 World Series, he's hot as ever. 2nd in MVP in 05. Alex Rodriguez unfortunately wins it this year. He was the first person to hit game-winning home runs in 2 separate series. They interviewed Jason Varitek. I don't know what he was doing there. I guess he was an all-star. I don't remember. But I love his home run derby swing at the time. It's awesome. And Johnny Damon was also with the Dominican Republic guys, and it was pretty funny to see. Johnny Damon, Miguel Tejada, being funny, being like the class clown that he is, and Bartolo Colon hanging with the boys.
Yeah, I love his appearance, right?
Yeah, I love him. He was in a trade that I wrote down. It was the craziest trade. I wrote it down. As you can notice, I'll say things as I find them in my notes, Andrew, but I enjoyed it. Any thoughts on that first round? Anything you want to cover again?
No, I think Dave Ortiz. I mean, he made it look easy as well. Nice, and I mean, you mentioned it would have been a record if a round record if Bryce didn't go first. But yeah, because I think the record was 15 before that. So kind of cool to see that in the first round. You get 2 big first rounds there, get the fans going in that first round to keep it going. And Bryce 24 and Dave Ortiz is 17. So a fun first round there for the Home Run Derby in 2005. And then I think we did forget to mention one last guy, Andrew Jones, right?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Andrew Jones. Yeah, that's how forgettable. The Netherlands. Shout out to Aruba. I have no Andrew Jones thoughts, but he used to be a superstar prospect, and now he's out here being really good.
I mean, he does spell his name wrong, but, you know.
He does. He does indeed spell his name incorrectly. That is accurate. Thanks for coming, Andrew. Andrew, as I should say. Second round participants include Bobby Abreu, David Ortiz, Carlos Lee, and Pudge Rodriguez. Bobby Abreu comes out of presses again, 6 home runs. Bud Selig also announced the Baseball World Classic. This time, I thought that was interesting that he was announcing it. And he was like, it's going to be huge. And guess what? It was. And Bobby Abreu broke the total home run record for a home run derby in the second round. So, pretty good there. Any thoughts on the second round, Andrew? Because we're going to speed this up because we're already behind schedule.
No, bro. I just thought I kind of took a step back a little bit everyone went down big time. It was kind of a shame. I was a little ashamed to see Dave Ortiz get knocked out there with only hitting 3. I thought that would have been a fun final round between Abreu and Ortiz with the way that home run derby was going.
I agree. So Bobby Abreu hit 6. Pudge dazzles with 7 home runs. They make it to the finals. And this is where I talk about my top 5 catchers, Andrew. So I'm going to go ahead and put Pudge at exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 6th on the ESPN, and I put him 5. Johnny Bench is 1. There's a guy named Josh Gibson who played in the Negro Leagues is 2. I'll take him out. Yogi Berra would be my second, Andrew. I know you're not prepared for this. I'm just letting you know. So you just let me know if you agree or not. Yogi Berra, 10 championships, 3 MVPs is my second best. Carlton Fisk is third, 97 Rookie of the Year, 1972. Sorry, Rookie of the Year, 11-time All-Star, 3 Silver Sluggers. This guy named Roy Campanella, he's basically Jackie Robinson's running buddy. And then Pudge Rodriguez, 14 All-Stars, 13 Gold Gloves, 7 Silver Sluggers, a 9903 MVP, and the chip. And right behind him, I have Mike Piazza and Buster Posey. You have any thoughts there?
Where'd you put Pudge at? Where is he on your list? Did you say fourth?
Fourth, after I took out Josh Gibson.
I think I would have left Gibson in there.
If you play in the 1930s and 40s, I can't do it. I just can't.
Okay, that's fair. Obviously, yeah, you got. I think I'd go Bench. If we're leaving Gibson out, I'm gonna go Johnny Bench 1. I'll go Yogi Berra 2. Give me Fisk at 3. I'm gonna go Campanella 4, and then Pudge 5.
All right, fair enough. So we get to the finals. Bobby Abreu and Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge goes second, which is not a great idea because Bobby goes ahead, puts up a nice 11 spot. This is where I praise Chris Berman again, Andrew, because he had my favorite call of the night. Let's go ahead and listen to it. Bobby has 5 home runs in the final round, and then he clubs this one, which was great.
Long drive to right center field. Back. Atrás, cuadrangular.
Yeah. Bilingual, Chris Berman. Bilingual, Andrew. Take that.
Hey, he knows what he's doing. I mean, he was great. I miss him.
Yeah, pretty good. So Pudge comes up, tries to match Bobby Abreu's 11. And the home run derby ends like this.
Wow. That one will get down. Pudge gave it his best, but Bobby Abreu will be the winner of the 2005 Century 21 Home Run Derby.
Bobby Abreu gets carried off, wins the home run derby. And that leads us into 2008, Andrew. I'll ask you the questions that I asked you before after the 99. Where would you rank this one out of enjoyment, Andrew?
2000. I'm gonna put the 2005. Wait, did you say my list or where? Like scale 1 to 10 in enjoyment?
On your list, where would you rank this one of the 4 we watched?
I'm going second out of the 4 we watched.
Second. Wow. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Some final notes to wrap this up. I wrote down, I remember watching this. I was 8, like you said earlier. Shout out to Miguel Cabrera and Johan Santana for showing me how to be a Venezuelan patriot. And also, this is peak Andrew. Old men with gloves at baseball games.
Absolutely. I did notice that as well.
Everyone has a home run. It's hilarious. Home run. Bobby gets hot in the last round, by the way. I just wanted to mention this because I mentioned how Griffey got hot too. Bobby goes home run, out. Home run, 3 there, out. Home run for his 10th, and then home runs for his 11th, and gets 2 more outs to end it. But that 5 home run and 2 out stretch right there really locks up the final round and gives him the dub. Well, that leads us to 2008, which really this home run derby is just one round, basically. So, Andrew, I think we should just talk about Josh Hamilton, and then let's just move on to 2018 for the sake of time. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. I think I mean, that's really like you said. It was more. You say one round. I might even go a spot further and just say one player.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's got to be two players because he ends up choking. But
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. So I'll run through the participants really fast. Dan Ugla of the Miami Marlins, aka the Florida Marlins at this point. Forearms are gigantic still. Grady Sizemore from the Indians. He's in here. This is peak Grady Sizemore too, because he's still young and he hasn't gotten hurt yet. So unfortunately, this is his peak. Also, I'd like to announce that Dan Ugla had an off fuck in his round as well. Then we have Chase Utley, your man, comes in. Do you have any Chase Utley thoughts, real fast?
I mean, obviously, I would like him to go farther, but he was. Yeah, he usually get probably around 20, but he was never really a big, powerful home run hitter. So it kind of didn't surprise me to see him not win this.
Yes, I agree. I'm not really surprised.
Ryan Howard would have been a better option.
Yes. Why wasn't was he hurt? Did he just decide not to come here?
No, I don't. I know he won in 06, and then he was also in 07. So I don't know if they were trying to mix it up a little bit or whatnot. But maybe I don't remember him getting hurt in 08. I mean, he finished the year that year with around 50 home runs. So I don't know why he wasn't in it. Maybe he wanted a year off. I don't know, because 2008 he came second in MVP voting. I remember. So I mean, he had a tremendous year.
Interesting. By the way, the trade I was mentioning earlier for Bartolo, here it is, Andrew. This is gonna blow your mind. For Bartolo Colon, Grady Sizemore, Cliff Lee, and Brandon Phillips for Bartolo Colon.
Wow, that is a tremendous package.
That's a package right there. That is a package. Shout out to my man Bartolo Colon. What a legend. By the way, Chase Utley booed by Yankees fans. I wanted to make that note because this year is, in fact, the last year of Yankee Stadium, 2008. So, any other thoughts, Andrew? Do you remember watching this one? Because I don't.
Honestly, I don't remember watching this one. I don't even remember, like, you would have thought, like, Josh Hamilton would have stuck out to me, like, even the first round. But, like, when I was rewatching it, like, I didn't even remember watching. I don't know if maybe I didn't watch this one, but
yeah, I don't remember it either. It's weird. Then comes up a rookie, Evan Longoria. Even as a rookie, I don't like him. 3 home runs. He was a first-round pick in the 06 draft, 3rd overall. He won the last man vote to get in here, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. I noticed that his swing was different here in the year that he broke my heart in game 162. I remember his swing having a little more wiggle, so I thought that was interesting. And I wrote that he ended up living up to his potential. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah, he absolutely lived up to his potential.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, it's a shame you have to not like him, even though how good
yeah, it's a shame. I would love to like Evan Longoria. I liked Evan Longoria. He ruined it. I didn't. Lance Berkman comes up next. This is peak Lance Berkman, by the way. 8 home runs here. Miguel Tejada is on the Astros at this point too, and he's still just running around being the class clown. I thought that was funny. For 05, he was there on the Orioles. Now, flash forward to 2008, he's still there now, just on the Astros. So I thought that was funny. By the way, this is when I started writing down average distance and longest. Average distance for home runs for Berkman, 442, and his longest was 472. So let's remember those numbers right there. Justin Morneau follows Berkman with 8 as well. 06 MVP. He won an MVP over Derek Jeter and David Ortiz. Don't know if you remember that, Andrew.
I remember him getting an MVP. I would not have been able to tell you it was 06 and over those 2 guys, but
yeah,
I did remember him being a good player.
Finished in second for MVP this year as well. Second Canadian MVP, by the way. Larry Walker was the first one. I learned that. Average for Justin Morneau, 428, and his longest is 453. Ryan Braun, a very young Ryan Braun, 2nd year in the league, Ryan Braun, pre-steroids, comes up, hit 7. Pretty nice. He played 3rd for his Rookie of the Year season in 07, and he had an agent. He has his agent throw to him, which I thought that was weird, Andrew.
Yeah, that was. I thought it was a cool twist, though. I mean, like you said, it's very weird, but something different. And I mean, that was pick. they pick who they want. So I mean, we'll get into another cool one in a little bit. But yeah, it was very cool to see that kind of switch in that.
I agree. He was the 5th overall pick in 2005. He won the MVP or MVP Rookie of the Year in 07, the year prior, at third. Andrew, do you know who he beat? A shortstop, Rookie of the Year 2007.
Shortstop 2007.
He played for the Rockies.
Oh, is that Tula?
Yes, Troy Tulowitzki. Beats out him there, but he ends up with 7, average of 415 and 439, which leads us now to Josh Hamilton. And I think this audio from our man Chris Berman really sums up the round, or at least the beginning of the round.
From 03 to 05, woke up every couple hours in dreams that he had to help himself. Then finally got some help. Played some with Cincinnati last year. And wait a minute. Did that go where we think it went?
Yeah, so he starts off his second home run just casually hitting the back wall at Yankee Stadium. A cool 502-foot home run for his second home run of the home run derby there. And that's when it got serious there. It everyone was like, "Oh God, if he hits this straight enough, he hits this in a certain spot, he can hit this ball out of the stadium."
But
and the crowd literally gave him a standing ovation after the second home run he hit. Yankee Stadium just fully erupting, standing ovation after 2 home runs. It's crazy. Andrew, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it was incredible. He was able to go out there and do it, and it's a shame to kind of see what happened in the back half of his career as well. I mean, the power he was able to display is just insane. And even in this, it's kind of a shame how much he kind of died down after that tremendous first round. But when he hit that ball, I mean, that was it's something like you don't never see, and it's incredible. And I mean, we already talked about some of the big ones from 05, but like that's one you don't see it happen that often, and it's incredible to see. And I mean, at this time especially, I mean, you might see big powers do it kind of now with I mean, obviously the rumors of the juice balls and stuff, so a lot of different stuff. But back, and I mean, the crowd just showed you how rare it was with how crazy they went when it happened.
Oh yeah, insane! Just like immediately starting off like that, everyone was like, "Whoa, this is crazy." So he starts off 502 there, and then goes ahead and follows up with this, Andrew.
Anything like what this kid is doing in baseball.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to hit a major league pitching, even when you're playing all the time.
Wow! Well, the one before that, the long one was 502. This is going to be in the same neighborhood.
Just destroying balls, reckless abandon. It's insane. We won't go into finals because I have a pitch by pitch breakdown. But average home run distance 445, longer than Ryan Braun's longest home run, and the longest home run this man hit in Yankee Stadium, 518 feet. Could you imagine a 518-foot bomb right now, Andrew?
No, absolutely not. That's what I mean, it's incredible what he was able to do. And like I said, it's something you never see, especially with a guy that young in the league. It's incredible what he was able to do. And they hit multiple of over 500. It's unheard of.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, it's insane. He I don't even know how to describe his swing. Like, his swing is so like weird, but there's just so much power behind it. His bat's gigantic. and it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. They mentioned on the broadcast while he was hitting, he was traded for Edison Volquez. Edison Volquez for Josh Hamilton, straight up Rangers and Reds. Andrew, my question is, who won that trade?
I was about to, if you didn't ask me that, I was going to ask you.
Because I have no idea.
That
That's tough.
That's one of those trades there is no winner.
They both did well, I guess, but this isn't even Pete Hamilton, unfortunately. Pete Hamilton comes up in 2010. He wins the MVP that year. But this is definitely his breakout. He definitely breaks out here, and he becomes a household name. Absolutely insane. Let's go. I'll go pitch by pitch for you, Andrew. It starts off, obviously, home run, gets an out. Home run, that's the 502-foot shot. 2 outs. Then he goes home run, home run, home run, 504 feet. Home run, 483 feet. He gets an out. He gets another out. That's his 5th out, and then hits his 7th home run. At this point, 7 home runs could win you old home run derbies. But thankfully, they changed the rules for this home run derby, and they let home runs carry over for rounds. So now he was just incentivized, just like, fuck it, let's just keep going. A home run for his 8th, an out, the fan interference home run thing. Did you remember that, Andrew?
I remember it from watching. Right now, I remember it happening live in a week.
Yes. So you get another home run, 9th, 10th home run, 11th, 12th, stops in the middle of his hitting, signs some autographs for some kids, out, home run, home run, home run to get 15. Just absolutely ridiculous. And guess what? We're not even close to being done. He gets his 8th out, and that's when shit starts getting crazy. Home run 16, home run 17, 497 feet. Home run 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28, Andrew. 28 home runs. My man goes on a streak after the 8th out and just rips off a cool 12 home runs. It's insane.
It's insane.
And they're not short. Let me tell you, folks.
No.
Average distance, 447. Missiles. All these are missiles into the 3rd row. If there's no stands stopping this ball from dropping, these balls are going like 600 feet. Absolutely insane. Here's another fun fact, Andrew. Sammy Sosa holds the home run derby record distance for home run distance, 524. Josh Hamilton put up 3 top 5 home run distances in this round.
It's insane. There's no words for it at some point.
It's awesome. Loved it. The single greatest performance at a home run derby ever, probably.
That's debatable.
It is debatable. Maybe. Who knows?
Because, in all honesty, he had the better round, but would you say his performance was better than a break?
This one round is what I'm more referring to. Here's a spoiler alert. If you have not watched the 2008 home run derby, Hamilton does not win. Justin Morneau steals the dub. He kind of chokes at the end, doesn't get the win. So I would say overall performance, I'd give it to Bobby, but this one round might be the unquestioned best round.
Very fair. I agree.
Well, that leads us to the 2018 home run derby, Andrew, and we are officially at the hour mark. So we're doing horrible on time, but here we are.
Hey, what else is new, right?
I know. So the 2018 home run derby in Washington. This is not the debut of the new rules, the new bracket and all that such, but this is the debut of those rules in our home run derby madness. They turn it into a tournament, 8 participants going against each other on 1v1 rounds, 4 minutes on the clock. They have a timeout. we said it earlier. This change is so good once you watch these old home run derbies and compare them with watching this one. What do you think, Andrew?
I mean, this new style wins without question. Like, I don't think it's close. And I remember thinking about it, and it's like, it probably won't be that big a deal whether like you would like it or not when they first went through with it. And even now, like before doing this, it was like, okay, I didn't remember how much of a difference it did make. But like going back and watching these, like it just makes it so much better. This bracket style and everything. I think the players like it more as well because it's not like they're sitting around waiting for everyone as well. I mean, you're waiting for your competition and stuff, and you see what happens. So I think overall, it's better for everybody.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's pretty crazy to see and how much of a difference it makes. I think it's kind of funny. Uh, but this is in DC, and let's go through these first round matchups. At the 1-8 matchups, we have We Believe in Jesus Aguilar from the Milwaukee the Brewers, and this 8 seed is that what it says, Andrew? 8 is that
Eight seed.
is that Rice?
It's Reese.
Hooskins? Who's that? What team does he play for?
Maybe that's the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, okay, all right, the Philadelphia Phillies.
It's
What's
actually
his
my
name
favorite
again?
Philly. For just a fun fact.
Oh, didn't I get you? Isn't there a jersey in your room because we lost a bet and I had to give you one, and it had been
That is true. That is the jersey you gave me because I won the bet. So
I don't remember what the bet was, but that is accurate. So
it was something Sixers Celtics probably.
Yeah, fucking assholes. So then next we have the 5-4 matchup with Kyle Schwarber and the cheating Alex Bregman. We have 6-3 Javi Baez and Max Muncy, and the 7-2 of Freddie Freeman and hometown boy Andrew's boy Bryce Harper. Andrew, the tournament setup, like I said, is better, but something that is not better is the announcing sucks. Now
that is true. Could you imagine if Chris Berman was able to do this one?
It's so brutal. Jess Mendoza is a sideline reporter, and I'm out on that. She's very polarizing. Some people like her, a lot of people don't like her, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know why if people like her. I don't think she brings much. And then Carl Ravitch is doing his thing, and then Mark Teixeira comes, and he's fine. The home run derby crew doesn't do anything for me. I miss Chris Berman, and I will continue to say that until I die, I guess. It's tough. So these changes happened in 2015, Andrew, and these changes somehow they started prompting more home runs instead of longer home runs. The total home run number was broken in 2015 with the change. 2016 it was 203, which was the broken that record, and then in 2017 it was 195. I wrote in big capital letters, "Juice balls?" ? Are these the trial phases of the juice ball, Andrew?
It may be. I think it's a mix of things. I think when you're going back to the old fashioned way, those guys are kind of sitting back and they take their time. They're waiting for each pitch. So they kind of have a chance to get yourself set. While in this one, when you're timed, it's got to be rapid fire. So you're kind of just swinging with everything you have, trying to hit home runs rather than distance. So I think that's one big difference you see in this is that, again, the time to 10 outs. When you have 10 outs, you can take 5 minutes in between each pitch if you want, or between when you swing next. Where when you're timed, you can't sit back and wait like you can on the other ones.
I'd agree as well. Like I said, we enjoyed the change. It's awesome. So good job by the MLB. This is the youngest home run derby ever by average age. Fun fact. So let's get started now. After that, Jesus Aguilar and Reese Hoskins start off. Hoskins starts off very hot, a cool 17 home runs. Andrew, I know you were watching this because this is recent. What did you think of your boy putting up a nice 17 spot up and getting the first round win over Jesus Aguilar, who put up a 12 home run number?
That was a tremendous start for Haskins. I mean, couldn't have got off to a better one. I mean, he started off hitting well, and then again, he used that it's funny how these guys use their strategy with the timeouts and stuff. So he called that timeout, and then after that timeout, he just went on a huge tear. I think if I did my math right, he had like 6 or 7 in the next minute after that timeout, and then obviously you get that bonus. So he took advantage of that. So I thought he did a tremendous job. But like you said, I mean the distance isn't as far. So I mean, but again, that's just difference in the way it goes. So I think his farthest was like 460 in this one.
463 was his longest. And again, let's remind everyone Josh Hamilton averaged 447 feet, and his longest was 516 feet. That is still ridiculous. But the technology on the broadcast made the home viewing experience a lot better too. I don't know if we mentioned that. The being able to see the ball is great.
Yes.
The knowing the distance of the home run right after it's hit is great. I appreciate that. It makes our lives a lot easier. And also, I wrote down that the bat designs, I love the bat designs. That is probably the best thing that's happened in the last like 5 years. The bat designs, all the cool shit on there, sweet.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
So Hoskins advances. That brings us to Schwarber versus Alex Bregman. An exciting matchup. Schwarber, for some reason, is drawn to the dramatic matches. He gets a 16 spot started off. He gets his 30 seconds bonus for hitting 440-foot home runs. His 448 foot home run almost hit the scoreboard. And I wrote down, imagine 518, 508, or 503 from Hamilton in this stadium. That 500-foot, 18-foot ball is leaving the yard because that 418 looks pretty close.
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
I also was theorizing maybe Hamilton's home runs weren't that long. Maybe they were just putting up the numbers because they didn't know. Who knows?
That's fair.
So he finishes with 16. Bregman comes up. At this point, everyone still likes the Astros and Bregman. So he's got the fans behind him. His thrower was really weird. I don't know if you know this, but his thrower was throwing super overhand. He looked like a pitching machine. It was kind of weird. I wrote down, remember when the Astros were likable because Cole, Verlander, Springer, and Altuve and Correa were all like hyping him up. And I was thinking like, I wonder in the home run derby like this next year if we have one, what's it going to be like? Are the Astros all just going to be like by themselves and then it's going to be everyone else? Or are everyone going to be like cool with the Astros now? So I thought that was funny and I can't wait to see what happens there. But he gets the dramatic 14 home runs, 15 home runs. His last swing, the 16th, hits off the top of the wall as the time ends and gives Schwarber the 16-15 win to advance to second round. This is probably the best matchup in the first round, don't you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I'd probably lean that way. I think there were a couple of good ones. Honestly, the next couple to follow, I think, were just as good. I think they're all close, which makes it exciting. So I think, yeah, I'd probably lean this one though. This one or the Harper Friedman.
Agreed. That would set up a Hoskins Schwarber semifinals that Andrew will remember forever. The other side of the bracket included Javi Baez at 16 home runs. He had his brother throwing to him, which I thought was interesting. He was kind of giving him shit for when he was throwing bad too, which I thought that was funny. And then Max Muncy comes up, hits 17 home runs, has a little time to spare. Really impressive performance by Muncy. Very, very impressed by him. Andrew, any thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I thought it was two guys. They were kind of still young guys, kind of making their name in the league at this time. So I think Muncy was he's trying to make his name. He really put a stamp on his name, and I think it's when people really started to look at how good he is now.
I agree. I'm scared of Max Muncy. I'm a big fan of Muncy. He gave me nightmares during the World Series in this year. So that brings up our last first round matchup. Freddie Freeman and your boy Bryce Harper. Freeman kind of disappoints. He's not really like a prototypical home run derby guy. He hit a couple opposite field home runs, puts up a 12 spot. He was booed when he was coming up with the Nationals Braves rivalry kind of thing there. Andrew, is there a player on any of your favorite teams that if you hear them being booed, you're like, what the hell? Why would he be getting booed? Because in '08, Ortiz walked across the diamond during Hamilton's tirade of home runs, and Yankee Stadium just started booing him frantically. And I was like, why the hell are you guys booing him? And I was like, oh, wait a second.
That's what rivalries are all about, man. You don't clap for no one, I guess, on a rival.
Do you have any players you think it's weird if they get booed, or like you are shocked to see booed on your teams? Because no one boos David Ortiz besides the Yankees fans.
I mean, honestly, if there ever was one in the Mets stadium, I know Utley would get booed if he did that like Ortiz. Utley and Rollins, they'd always get booed in New York, but no, I can't think of anyone. I mean, could you imagine if this home run derby was imagine if it was like this year or something in DC and Harper went back as a Philly?
Oh,
Imagine how bad that would be for him.
Funny. That'd be hilarious. He's lucky that he got out with this home run derby in this All-Star game. It's probably not going to be in DC forever now, so escape there. So then Bryce Harper comes up, a cool and easy 13 home runs. Watching this home run derby really made me remember how much I like Bryce Harper's swing. Drives off his back leg, like literally, like every single portion of his weight is on his back leg, and he just explodes on balls, and it's crazy. Love watching his swing. Andrew, as a Bryce Harper fan, what do you think of his swing, and how do you feel about Bryce?
Well, first off, I love Bryce Harper. There's no reason to hate the guy. He's a tremendous player, and he embraced
no
the city.
Reason to hate him? Not even one.
Not for me, not anymore. I mean,
and not anymore. Oh, okay.
He's not my rival anymore. But his swing is. I love his swing. The one I always love going back and watching. I don't know if I'm sure you've probably seen it, but I don't know if you remember it. Is when he hit the walk-off grand slam against the Cubs last year. I mean, talk about driving off his back foot.
Yeah, explodes on balls. I love it. He puts up a 13 spot, 467-foot home run. Sean Doolittle and Mad Max were kind of his guys in his corner. I guess those were the only All-Stars the Nats had. I thought it was weird. I was like, where are all of Bryce Harper's friends? So I was like, maybe people don't like Bryce. So that's a theory I have. Where are Bryce Harper's friends? I guess Chris Bryant was nowhere to be found here.
No, there's too many other Cubs in there at the time.
Yeah, I know, right? So we get the semifinals matchup of Rhys Hoskins versus Schwarber and Max Muncy versus Bryce Harper. And this is where I say the MLB hates the American League. No thoughts there, Andrew? No thoughts?
I was going to say why.
Because there's no American League guys.
I didn't pick up on that.
No American League guys. Hoskins, Schwarber, Muncy, Harper, all in the National League. All in your division besides one. Actually, no, Schwarber. Just kidding.
Well, that's your fault for not having any of the American League guys perform.
Hey, you're right. So round 2 is where things get interesting. It's pretty fun. Hoskins puts up a 20. Very good number. Very respectable number. Gets his bonus. Gets a buzzer-beating 20th home run. Andrew, at this point, you must be feeling very good. You must be thinking, he's going to beat this Schwarber guy. No problem. Nothing's going to happen. And then something happened, Andrew. Let's you want to hear the audio first, or do you want to comment on it first?
You do the audio. That's what I thought you were playing the audio.
Oh, okay. Well, I got you. Let's listen to the audio first.
17, he still has those extra 30.
This is going to come down to the wire right here. And the crowd is really getting into it. These Nats fans are loving Kyle Schwarber right now.
Oh, he did it. That one is center field second deck.
And he knows he has the 30-second bonus, so he's going to take his time here, try to hit one more. He doesn't even need it.
Stay fair. That's fair. That's gone. Schwarber, 21 to advance.
Schwarber puts up that cool 21. Last second home run right there on a lovely streak with 50 seconds left. Schwarber goes off. Pretty crazy. With 40 seconds, he has 15 home runs. He proceeds to go home run, foul ball, home run, home run, home run. His 20th home run, and goes to ground ball, and then ends with his 21st home run to advance past Hoskins. I wrote that was the best matchup thus far.
Absolutely. I think Haskins put up 2 good rounds and just got beat by a better round there by Schwarber. And I think again with the situation, I think those were 2 of the better home run hitters that were left outside of Harper in this situation, and it created that really good round for him. And it's a shame one of them had to go because I think they both would have done better than Muncy later on.
Yes, Muncy and Harper are second semifinal. And it seems like Muncy kind of tired out, only put up 12, which was very easy for Harper to match and surpass at 13. Harper kind of had a really easy route to this final, Andrew. Your boy Hoskins kind of got screwed there with the seeding, and your other boy Harper benefits.
Freeman and Muncy both put up 12, so Harper didn't have too much of a problem.
I know, right? So that brings us to our final round, Andrew. Our final round. We have gotten all this way. We have traveled all this distance. We've gone to 2019, 2020, 2040. We've gone all this way. We've gone all the way around, and we're back to the final round of 2018, Andrew. Kyle Schwarber versus Bryce Harper. And Schwarber will not go quietly. He starts off first, home run, home run, home run, home run. He gets 18 home runs to start off. 2 timeouts. I wrote down I missed the good Schwarber because he was fun to watch hit. He was hitting line drives out of there. He was very animated and stuff. His longest home run of this round, 453 feet. Good time to watch. Schwarber, I cannot wait for baseball to start because I like watching this guy play baseball. Sue me.
Yeah, he's so much fun to watch, and it's a shame we can't right now. But he's a guy that played multiple positions in his early part of his career, and a guy that's kind of making a name for himself now. He just goes out and does what he has to.
It's great. World Series winner and World Series hero for the Cubs too. People won't forget that what he did in that World Series. But his 18 home runs were not enough. Bryce Harper comes up there in a dramatic finish. Puts up a 19 spot with some bonus time, wins it, becomes the 3rd player ever to win a home run derby in his home ballpark. Andrew, do you know who the other 2 people were?
I do not.
Ryan Sandberg in 1990 and your twin brother, Todd Frazier, in 2015. Bryce Harper conquers 19 home runs. Let's listen to 2 clips, Andrew. Let's listen to Harper finding a rhythm and just destroying balls, quite frankly. And let's listen to the last home run he hit in this home run derby.
13, here goes 14. Here comes Bryce Harper.
Oh my goodness, this is getting fun. This is going to be interesting.
This is going to be over soon.
Oh, wow.
Another one.
Oh my goodness.
That one's popped up. Remember, there are still 30 seconds of bonus time. That one could pull him within 1. Clock stops. He's got 30 seconds.
Yes.
That was a huge.
There it is.
Center field, and Bryce Harper has thrown his bat in the air and won the 2018 T-Mobile Home Run Derby, and he loves it.
Harper does it, gets the win with his dad throwing to him. Pretty incredible to watch. Like you heard that last stretch by Harper, incredible. just starts ripping off home runs. Andrew, tell me what you thought about Harper's performance as a whole, and how you feel about him.
I thought, like you mentioned, he kind of had the easier path there with the other guys going first and only having to get to 13. But I mean, I think this round he really showed up. I mean, he went on a tear there at the end. He hit 9 home runs in the final 50 seconds there before that extra bonus round for him. So I think he really showed up there. And I mean, I think honestly, without that crowd, I don't know if he's able to do it. I think they kind of drove him that extra step, and it was cool to see his dad throwing to him and everything. So just a really cool story there to do that with his dad and then do that in the national stadium.
I agree. Loved watching this. He had the best celebration. After a timeout, here's that stretch, the home runs, if you were talking about. Home run, his 10th. Home run, his 11th. His dad throws a ball. Home run, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 home runs. Pops the one up and then hits the 18th home run as time expires right there. And brings them to tie and gets the win in bonus time with the bonus time. Insane. I enjoyed watching it. Like I said, I think I know we're going to go with our entertainment rankings here, Andrew, but where would you rank this one?
Number 1.
I think so too. I would rank this at 1. I enjoyed this very much. And thank you for Harper for making this interesting. Shout out to him. But Andrew, we've reached the time in the show where let's give out some awards. You ready, Andrew?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So for you guys that don't know, might be joining us for the first time. Thank you if you've been listening this far. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We give out awards at the end of every episode to deserving players in a game. But now we have plenty of people to pick from, and we give out 4 awards, 5 awards, 4 awards, 4.5 awards. Let's start off with our GOATs, the greatest of all time, the greatest performers in these 4 home run derbies. Here are my nominees, Andrew. There's no surprises here. Bobby Abreu in 05, Ken Griffey Jr., 99, Hamilton in 08, and Harper in 18. Do you have any more volunteers, nominees?
I think since he won, I know he's not as exciting as Hamilton was, but you do have to throw Justin Morneau in there because he did win the home run derby.
Sure. Yes, he can be a nominee. Andrew, do you have a winner, an overall winner?
This is tough.
This is tough.
I think I go with Abreu with this one because, again, I know Hamilton goes on to have the bigger 518-foot home run, and then that breaks the first round. But I think Abreu had the better home run derby overall. And, again, he wins the home run derby and ends up hitting more total in the derby over Hamilton. So I got to lean Bobby Abreu in this one.
I'm going with Bobby Abreu too, and it's purely because he's from Venezuela as well. So hell yeah, Bobby. Scapegoats, the worst performers, the people that get blamed, the disappointing performances throughout these home run derbies. I have 2 nominees for you. One I did not have until the beginning of the show. I bet you guess who it is. Jason Bay is 1, and Sammy Sosa's disappointing performance is 2. Andrew.
Yeah, I think that's really the only 2 I'd go with as well. The other guys, I think they weren't expected to do as well as those guys. Maybe throw in Evan Longoria because he only gets 3. But I think overall, I think it's really just between Jason Bay and Sammy Sosa.
Who are you picking?
I'm picking Sammy Sosa.
Damn.
I know he hit 1 and Bay hit 0, but the name is big. They both came after a big performance and kind of was disappointing on both their ends. But again, you expected Sammy Sosa to at least get to the second round and kind of go against Ken Griffey and Mark McGwire and expected something exciting. But they could only go up there and hit 1.
Yeah, it's tough. I want to give it to Jason Bay. I feel dirty giving to Sammy Sosa because he's done so well and past home run derbies. But I guess it has to be Sammy. That one was pretty disappointing. We expected better, especially the year after home run derby chase, right?
Exactly.
All right. 99 Sammy Sosa. I'm sorry, but you are in fact the scapegoat of the episode. Andrew, we talked about crowds. We have a crowd rating index Andrews, for this crowd rating, I would like you to rank the crowds from each of the 4 home run derbies. I'll start. I have number 1, 2018, number 2, 2008, number 3, 05, and number 4, 99.
I'm going to agree with you 100%. I think the standing ovation by Yankee Stadium was cool for that. We already mentioned 99. We were disappointed. And then, 18 gets a little boost there because it was the hometown hero at the time. So it does get a boost, but it was absolutely the best. So there's no question in 2018.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're aligned there, Andrew.
I'm surprised you didn't kind of bump Yankee Stadium down there for Bill and David Ortiz and make them third.
I'm a non-biased person, Andrew. I'm full of non-bias. Okay. Come on. You know me, Andrew. Best at bat. We normally give it to just one at bat. We'll give it to a round. Who do you think had the best round, Andrew, overall?
It's got to be Josh Hamilton. And even if we're doing just one at bat, 518 foot, you can't beat it. It's just, there's no question to me. You can't beat what Josh Hamilton did.
Yeah, Josh Hamilton, we have to give him an award. And this is the award for him. I thought this home run derby reflected his career very nicely. He comes out, hits all those home runs. It's great. He peaks, and then at the end, crash and burn. Doesn't get the win, kind of disappoints, but is memorable. Josh Hamilton, your performance is extremely memorable, and we'll always remember it at Yankee Stadium. Thank you for hands down winning this award. And last, Andrew, the David Freese Career Apex, Career Climax Award. Andrew, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going between two. I think it's got to be to me between Harper and Abreu. I think Harper will eventually have a bigger moment, but to this point in his career, I don't know if he's had a bigger moment than that. You do it in front of his hometown.
Well, he won an MVP.
Yeah, but honestly, yeah, that's more for the season. But if you're going like his best moment and stuff, and I think if you ask him what was cooler, his full MVP season or that experience in there, that might be it. But I guess you do bring up a good point. You won MVP, so maybe do we go with Brady?
You see, I feel bad not giving Harper anything. That's the issue, and I was like, maybe we should just give Harper a GOAT. But Abreu's the GOAT. So this is my issue. So you know what, Andrew? I'll meet you here. I'll give this one to Harper. It's kind of tough because this was Bobby Abreu's apex, but I don't want Harper to go empty-handed. So congratulations, Harper. You're getting a pity David Freese Career Climax Award from me.
We need to start becoming more harsh. We need to stop being lenient. If the guy doesn't get an award, What do you think?
Hey, well, I just try to give everyone some help. I don't want this to be Harper's apex in his career. I would like him to do something in Philadelphia,
He'll bring us a World Series, don't worry.
Okay, well, it's on record. I'm going to go ahead and mark this down. Andrew said Bryce Harper will bring the Phillies a World Series championship. All right, Andrew. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Thank you to whoever stuck around and listened to this whole thing, and we'll eventually listen to the whole thing when it's posted later. But I know we kind of ran long today, but thank you for sticking with us very much.
Yes, thank you for sticking with us. We appreciate it. Andrew, we didn't even talk Red Sox punishments for their cheating thing. We can talk about that next week. The little slap on the wrist. I was happy to see that, or whatever you want to call it. But it was fun, Andrew. I cannot wait to do this again. Usually, we choose what we're gonna do next week on the show, but since we've gone so long, I don't feel like you know what, Andrew? I don't feel like we should subject the listener to more.
No, probably not.
We'll figure it out, and we'll be posted. I can't wait to do this next week, Andrew. Happy belated birthday again, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
No problem. We'll see everyone next week. Have a good quarantine. Stay inside. Wash your hands. And we'll see everyone next week. See you guys.